Although Cars 2 may have the title for the most controversial Pixar film there is, Onward takes a close second. Some major reviewers say it's not a good movie. Some users on IMDb agree. Funnily enough, some Google review users also agree. But for every bad review of a Pixar movie there's one idiot that's gonna say, hey, let's argue against that. So with that said, let's argue about why Onward is a good movie. Let's start with IMDb's argument number 1. The main argument of this article is that the world building in Onward sucked. In other words, there wasn't enough magic. Alright, listen, you're gonna have to bear with me for this argument, right? Okay, they're complaining about there being no magic in this movie that's about magic. That's fair, except for the fact that the beginning of the movie says that there is no magic, and that's the problem. And then better yet, we do get magic. Every time something emotional is happening, our bonds are being built, something is being used with magic. For example, the first time Ian and Barley try to bring back their father, what are they using to bring him back? Magic. When they run out of gasoline, what do they need? Magic. When we need to cross a valley, what do we need? Magic. When we're bonding, what do we need? We need magic. Magic is everywhere. It's maybe not utilized in ways that would make it good, so yes, there could be more, but we have the magic that we need to continue the plot. It works, and that's what's needed. Complain all you want, you sissy bottom butt face. What does that mean? My bad, I got a little lost in the sauce there. Let's go to argument number 2. I should mention that arguments 2, 3, and 4 are all pulled from the same video, and it's this one by Shafrulis Productions. If you want a summary of his review, here it is. It's bad. It's a bad movie. Anyway, back to argument number 2. Onward is made worse by its annoying voice actors.
Hello, I did another stupid. So this isn't actually an argument that he makes. He was complaining about Chris Pratt's character, not the voice actor. So we're gonna ignore that this argument happened. Okay, bye.
Argument number 3. The plot is forced. To argue against this point, I think I should just show you his example. Vans can't fly. It feels too realistic. Oh no, a fantasy movie? Unrealistic? If you want to talk realism and fantasy, let's talk about Up. If you can't deal with a van flying up into a cliff, then you cannot deal with a house being pulled up with balloons. No matter the movie, you have to throw out some sort of reality, or you'll just be finding stuff like this. There are going to be plot holes. Someone told me that Finding Nemo is the best Pixar movie because there's no plot holes. Fish can't talk. It's not exactly a plot hole, but it doesn't make sense. So how can the movie work? It's too forced. Trying to use the van as an example of this movie not being realistic is true, but it's a fantasy movie. It doesn't need to be realistic. His second point in this argument is that the ending is just too convenient. Let it be known, Shafrulis didn't really clear up what he meant by the ending was too convenient. Another thing about fantasy movies, coincidences will happen. Without coincidences, stories don't happen. I'm walking way too far away from the camera. Goodness gracious. Think about Russell from Up. He walks up to the house of this old man. He goes to find a snipe, and then he comes back, and all of a sudden he's under the porch. That's a coincidence. He was told to run away, yet he's under the porch, and there's no such thing as a snipe, well, other than Kevin. That is super convenient. The main antagonist should probably be dead, but he's not. Is that too convenient? No. If he thinks it's too coincidental, then he should also consider time restrictions. Time restrictions are almost always set in the Pixar movie. If there's a time restriction, then that means that there is going to be tension, and if there's tension, you have a more engaging story. So maybe he's arguing that the tension just didn't work for that ending, which is a weird thing to argue because the tension was that they had a day to get their dad back. I don't know what he was even trying to argue about the plot being too convenient, but no matter what, it's just not true. Any story will be convenient in the end. Finally, his third point about plot being too forced is that events keep getting thrown into the plot and they don't really have any purpose. Now this one, I am going to take this personally. Holy cow. One of his main points is that why did Barley need to go with Ian to get the gas? Why couldn't he just go by himself? If you are a 16-year-old and you're out in the middle of the night in a place that you're not usually at in a city, are you gonna go by yourself to a gas station? Probably not. If it's Detroit, you're gonna get shot. That's how that works. Therefore, Barley goes with him. This scene as a whole, how does it serve a purpose? Well, this scene could be there for comedic value. It could be there to teach us another spell that we'll use later on. No matter the scene, there will always be a purpose for it. It's just sometimes other scenes do more than others. Alright, argument number 4. Barley doesn't take anything seriously. That is completely wrong. If you understand human emotion, you understand the idea of faking it. You know, a study from a scientist at some point in time, probably, proved that if you force yourself to smile, then you'll become happier. I didn't say it, the scientist did. If you fake something, you can hide something else. You can pretend to be happy, but you can actually be sad. So rather than covering sadness with happiness, cover it with comedy. The reason that this can be argued is because we have this one scene that takes place on a massive Cheeto. And it's at this moment we begin to understand more about Barley in a deeper sense rather than a comedic sense. Initially, we understand that the character of Barley is to just be entertaining, to encourage Ian, and to just overall be painfully optimistic. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't take things seriously. He tries to prove that Barley doesn't take anything seriously by pointing out that there is no reason for him to aggravate the Pixies. Again, there straight up is a reason. Let's take for example, if I hear somebody slandering my favorite movie, oh, I hate this about this movie, then all of a sudden it becomes my duty to say to them, actually, that's a really good movie. I did not like saying it like that. If somebody is passionate about any topic and somebody is wrong about that topic that they're passionate about, they're gonna correct them. So if the Pixies are doing something stupid, then Barley's gonna fix it because he knows how to fix it. That's just how humans work. Now, yes, they're elves, but I'm pretty sure it translates. That doesn't mean Barley doesn't take anything seriously. It just means he's annoying. So you could have argued that, but you gotta be precise with your words. I hated that. But according to Shafrillis, because Barley doesn't take anything seriously, the ending is bad. How do you get there? How do you get to that conclusion? The difference is that seeing his dad for the first time in years shows the side of him that he's been hiding with humor. I keep on saying it, but I am way too invested into this. Holy cow. Alright, we're gonna slide in for argument number 5 or 6. I can't remember what it is. This one is pulled from Google reviews, and this review simply states that this movie is terrible for children. The only argument I need for this one is that they describe the dad as a half-dead dad. What? Just because only half of him is visible doesn't mean he's dead. The review claims that if kids see half of a dad, they'll start to see their parents in that way. I can't argue this. It is such a stupid point. He is literally pants. He's pants. If you can't let your children look at pants, then they're gonna have a really hard time in school. Now let's set something straight. The reviews for this movie are pretty dang good. IMDb is flooded with really good reviews. The Shafrillis video is flooded with people supporting the movie in the comments. It has a 4.5 on Google reviews. There's mostly 5-star reviews. I sent out a community post asking about Onward, and people thought it was good. So if Onward is very clearly a good movie, as we can tell from the reviews, then why is Pixar getting backlash for not making good movies as of recent? You want to know why? I'll let you in on my little secret. It's because no one is watching them. If you want to know how I know that, I did a survey around my school where I got 110 responses. All I asked was to rate a Pixar movie 1 to 10, and I got all the Pixar movies there. Onward had 60 responses, which means only 60 out of 110 people have seen it. And because of that, it was one of the lowest ranking movies on that list. So that's the conclusion from this video. If you're going to complain about a movie, watch it. Watch the movie and actually understand what's going on. Fake mic drop, I guess. Holy cow, this sunset is immaculate. Oh my goodness days. Oh, by Jolly Jefferson. Oh my bobo. I'm fine.